What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. And yes, this is something a little bit different on my channel. Now, you probably could tell from the thumbnail, or possibly even the title of this, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of a tier driver introduction for pretty much every tier in AOR Oceania in the Xbox League mainly. So, I will be doing the F2 one sometime soon, but to start with, we're going to be focusing on every single driver that's going to be competing in the F1 League. So without further ado, let's get straight into it, shall we? Let's start with the Ferrari team, and this is a combination that was so dominant in last season's F1 tier. Of course, they were the Constructors' Champions in Mercedes, but now they've swapped across to Ferrari power for Season 3. I talk about New Zealand Ryan and Tiamat Mardik. Let's start with the reigning back-to-back champion, New Zealand Ryan. What more do I need to say about this guy? He obviously won the first 2 seasons of AOR. Had 6 wins, 9 podiums, and 2 poles in Season 1. Had 10 wins, 13 podiums. Had 6 consecutive wins, which I think is still a record. Had 9 consecutive podiums. Has never finished, his worst result so far in this league has been 6th. Every other time he's literally been on the podium. What more can I say about this guy? I mean, he could easily again win another championship. And I will point out that even though it does says 97 on the car, he will be running his normal number 1 again for Season 3. This guy should easily be a favourite for the title for sure. He's rejoined again, like I mentioned, by Tiamat Mardik. And, well, if you don't know Benjamin Daly, you're not even born. This guy, he's been up thereabouts in the championship. I mean, he's finished 2nd in Season 1 and 3rd in Season 2. He had 2 wins, 5 podiums, 3 poles in Season 1. In Season 2, not as many. 1 win, 6 podiums, and 1 pole. Probably a little bit disappointing for Ben himself. But, I mean, when you consider this guy has been there, done that in league racing, I mean, you have to think as well, he'd probably give Ryan a little bit of a run for his money, but he'd definitely be up there for championship-wise as well. But Constructors, when you think about it, I think these guys are going to be probably dominant again like they were last season, so they'd have to be at the favourites for sure to win the Constructors title. A new lineup for Mercedes this season in the form of DRC Jared and DropBear27. Now, let's discuss Jared first. He's been here the last couple of seasons as well in AOR. Joined, I think, the 2nd or 3rd round in the 1st season. But he's had a decent fair share of results. 2 podiums, 1 pole, and 3 top 10s to finish 8th in the championship in Season 1. Season 2 pretty much nearly matched it. Another 2 podiums there. 10 top 10 finishes, no poles unfortunately. He did get his best race result of 2nd place to finish 7th in the championship. Now Jared will probably want to better his championship position compared to the last 2 seasons. He has gone up a spot the last season, but whether he wants a top 5 would probably be good enough for Jared, I would think, considering this is quite a quality field that he's in. His new combination with DropBear this season, who only joined in Season 2 of last season, had a bit of a good fair share of results. Got 7 top 10s, had a best quality position at P2 at Bahrain, had his best race result of a 5th so far. I think he finished from memory in the top 10. I haven't written that in my notes, but I think for sure that DropBear would want to definitely make some strides up in the championship order, but where he will finish in the championship, I've not a clue, to be honest. So he may spring a few surprise results, but who knows? For the Constructors, well, I don't know. It's hard to see them fighting for the Constructors title, but you never know. Jared may throw in fair, good, decent results, but not sure about DropBear. I'd probably say maybe mid-pack for Constructors Championship this season. Bit of a different lineup as well for Red Bull this season. One man who's stuck around in the Red Bull gang is HO56, and he's joined by Neon Treedome for this season of AOR. Of course, these two did combine in, I think, SRL season, the last season in SRL, so these two have good knowledge of each other. Let's talk about HO first. Finished 5th in the last 2 seasons of AOR. Season 1, he had 2 podiums and 4 top 10s. And last season, he improved that massively with 3 podiums, 2 poles, and 10 top 10 finishes. Crucial thing was getting the 2 top 10s. Hasn't quite broken through yet for the race win, but I feel like he's close to getting that race win. I think from memory, he was leading the races back at Bahrain, and unfortunately he disconnected. And he's had his fair share of battles as well. I think Britain and Belgium were probably some of his best tracks, but it's going to be tough to maybe try and beat his 5th position that he's done the last 2 seasons. So, I mean, who knows? We'll wait and see. Neon has been here in AOR for the last 2 seasons as well. He's had his fair share of up and downs as well. Finished 10th in Season 1, and again, he improved himself in Season 2 to finish 9th in the championship. He had 7 top 10s in Season 1, best race result of 5th, and in Season 2 had better that with 9 top 10 results and finished 5th twice in Season 2. Season 3, what to expect? Well, it's probably a difficult one because Neon is one of those ones that had the racing line on these last couple of seasons. Now that the racing line has been turned off for the top tier, maybe a little bit of a struggle in the early periods, but I would think maybe he'll start to be up the close end of the field a bit more maybe later in the season. That's just my prediction, but you might have a different opinion of yourselves. But where do I think these guys will finish the Constructors? Well, I mean, HO definitely can score decent points. Neon can score the odd point as well. Maybe top 4 at a rough guess, probably, where they'll finish these Constructors this season. Now, these next 2 were combination at Ferrari last season, but now, since New Zealand Ryan and Ben have taken those, they've had to go back to the Pink Panthers of Force India, that being Warden 99 and Masterbezerk. Let's start with the man on screen in car 75, Warden. He's had good, decent results the last couple of seasons. 3rd in Season 1 in the championship, 2 wins, 5 podiums, 2 poles, so fairly decent there. Season 2, definitely improved. Again, finished 2nd in the championship. Again, 2 wins, had more podiums, 10 this time around, 2 poles, but the biggest key that probably maybe let him down championship-wise was the 4 DNFs that he had last season. Now, these 2, I will point out, they are known for running the racing line. Now, of course, they've had to turn it off this season, but I would think pretty much like what I said with Neon Tridome, once they get used to it, they'll improve themselves up a bit. They may struggle a little bit, but I would think Warden will probably be still fighting up there in the championship somewhere in the fight. Maybe not, hard to say, maybe fight for the championship, but top 3 at least should be Warden's goal for this season. Masterbezerk has finished 4th the last 2 seasons of the AOR Oceania F1 top tier. He's, like I said, 2 podiums and 9 top 10 finishes in Season 1. And in Season 2, had an improvement, 5 podiums and 15 top 10 appearances, top 10 results. And he almost nearly had his first race win in AOR at Britain last season, but that was pinched off him by, of course, Tiamat Marduk with a very late dive bomb on the second to last lap of Britain. So Berserk's definitely has got pace around at certain tracks. He can win, but it's just a case of where he can win and if he can finally break that duck that he has been waiting for these last couple of seasons. For these Constructors Championship, I would think these guys would be fighting for the top spot in the Constructors Championship. If not, they'll probably be battling it out for second like they have the last couple of seasons. Another different pairing at Williams Martini Racing for this season with Greek Master 99 and VFens. Now, let's start with Greek Master. He didn't take part in Season 1 of AOR Oceania F1, but he did join midway through Season 2 and managed to finish 8th in the championship. Got 1 podium, 1 pole, and 6 top 10 results. Now, when I first started racing, Greek was on the pad. Ever since he's got on the wheel, he's been lightning quick, and for sure he could easily fight with New Zealand Ryan for this championship. Quite easily could fight for the championship. V-Fens makes his welcome return to AOR Oceania. Of course, he did take part partially in Season 1. Unfortunately, had to step aside because of his poor internet connection. But in Season 1, he did get 1 pole and 3 podiums. He did rejoin back in Season 2 at Malaysia, I believe it was. And he got 1 win, 2 podiums, and 2 poles to finish 10th in the championship. Now, like I mentioned about Greek, Fence has been a pad user the last couple of seasons. This is his first season on the wheel. Now, it's probably going to be a tough ask to get maybe inside the top 10. Or should be easily get into the top 10. Again, another one that's without the racing line. So, yeah, I definitely think top 10 would be good for Fens. Constructors, well, these guys could possibly maybe spring a surprise in the top 3 or 4 of this Constructors Championship. So I don't think for the outright victory Constructors-wise, but I think top 3 or 4 for these two. Let's have a look at Renault now, as XQuickSilva and Bale 03 is the new combination for this season. There's probably not too much to delve into these two. Let's have a look at XQuickSilva first. So he joined in Season 2, didn't take part in Season 1. He finished 19th in the championship last season. Best race result of 14th, so still yet to break through into the top 10. 6 DNFs. Doesn't look pretty, I'll admit, but I would think XQuickSilva would possibly get up there, fight for some more top 10 results throughout this season. Bale 03 is a relative newcomer to AOR Oceania, so basically I don't really have much information to go by for this guy, but I mean, who knows? The newcomers, they could possibly make a few surprise results. You never know. It probably could be nearly the same as what Drop Bear was last season, but constructors-wise, yeah, I can't see these guys fighting up at the top, not even the top 5. I'd probably put them probably at the bottom of the list for Constructors Championship, I think, this season. There are a fair few new combos this season for AOR Oceania F1, and this one's another one. You got one who's been here pretty much last season, and one who's rejoining after missing last season. Let's have a look at BrockDoesStuff and Harry Ryan. Brock, let's start with him first. Didn't take part much in Season 1. Joined in Season 2. Finished 14th in the championship. Had 4 top 10 results. His best finish was 6th place. I think possibly could have been Belgium. I'm not really too sure. But 5 DNFs along the way. He's had a fair share of crashes as Brock. So I think probably the biggest one would have to be maybe at the Spanish Grand Prix, where they didn't really make it about 500 metres or something, and it all just ended there. But yeah, for Brock, I think if he has shown the pace there, but he's just got to be a bit more consistent-wise, I think, this season for Brock. But if he could maybe get in the top 10 for the championship, that'll be a good result for Brock. Like I mentioned, Harry Ryan makes his welcome return to the league racing scene for Season 3. He did take part in Season 1, although he did quit a bit early to focus more on the streaming side of things, and that's basically what he did majority of Season 2. But look at Season 1, he only had 2 top 10s, 1 DNF and a disconnection. So look, Harry's probably shown a little bit of pace here and there, so I don't know possibly whether he could fight for a top 10 result. It's going to be it's going to be a tough ask, let's be honest. So, being it's his first season back, but you know, who knows? It could really spring a surprise. Constructors, where do I think these fellas will finish? I'd say maybe 6th or 7th, possibly, at a rough guess. They could show good, consistent points. They could probably surprise a few along the way. 2 former F2 drivers make the jump up to F1 for this season. I'm talking about myself and that laggy person in the Haas for this season. Let's start with me first in car number 96. Obviously, you all know me. If you have seen all my videos, you would have seen that I finished second in F2 in season 1 and finished 4th in F2 last season. So the stats there, season 1, 1 win, 5 podiums, 10 top 10s, 1 pole. Season 2, 3 wins, 7 podiums, 12 top 10s, 1 pole and 1 DNF. What am I hoping to achieve this season? Well, I would like to get inside the top 10 for sure in my debut season of F1. Like I've raced these guys all around in other leagues, so I know what to expect from the top guys. So yeah, that's basically my goal, finishing the top 10. Laggy, like I mentioned, made the jump up with myself to the F1 tier for this season. Of course, he was a former assist user in F2, but he has turned pretty much everything off to make the leap up into the top tier. And funnily enough, we pretty much nearly swapped, getting close to numbers-wise. We just flip our numbers around. It's pretty simple, really. I'll stop mentioning that anymore about that. But anyway, Laggy, in season 1, finished 4th in F2, 1 win, 3 podiums, 7 top 10s, 2 poles, and 2 DNFs. Season 2 is where he finished 2nd in the championship last season. Improvements, 2 wins, 7 podiums, 12 top 10 results, 2 poles again. Probably the one thing that did hurt him in the championship last season was that disconnect he had at the Japanese Grand Prix, which really hurt him big time. But I would think Laggy, I mean, yeah, it's a tough ask for Laggy. He may just squeeze into the top 10 for the championship. It's going to be a hard ask for sure, but yeah, we are both willing to fight for this anyway, so to get both of us hopefully in the top 10. Constructors-wise, I'd probably say top maybe 6th, else maybe 5th, maybe surprise a few people along the way, so yeah, maybe 5th or 6th. Another former F2 driver joins a debutant for the Xbox side of things. He's a former PC racer. We talk about DLG Gamble and Pencilman 899 in the McLaren. Let's talk DLG Gamble first. Now, of course, Gamble made his debut midway through last season in the F2 season. Finished 6th in the championship. It was a very impressive, I must admit, after joining midway through. 2 poles, 1 win in America, 3 podiums and 9 top 10 finishes. Gamble's probably going to be, along with myself, Laggy, probably going to be fighting for possibly around that 10th barrier in the championship perhaps, but he has shown the relative good speed as well, so probably one to watch out for this season in AOR. Pencilman has raced before in league racing, but on the PC side with AOR, which is the Oceania Octane Racing League, I believe, on the PC. So he makes the transition across over to the Xbox One for this season. Of course, they don't have a PC Oceania League in AOR. I don't understand why, but anyway, that's their problem. But he also has made his debut in TOR as well. Had some decent results as well, so yeah, I don't know, he may fight for a few top 10 results throughout the season, but yeah, might be maybe a little bit of a struggle, but you never know, we'll wait and see. Constructors wise, probably I'd say I've nearly filled out nearly all the grid so far, so I'd probably say maybe 8th for these guys. But yeah, I'd probably say 8th in the constructors for this season. Final full-time driver in AOR Oceania F1 Xbox One is PresidentCosby, who's making his debut in the Xbox One League over in the Alfa Romeo Sauber. So, yeah, unfortunately, I don't really have much other results to tell you about him, but just maybe the odd thing about the pre-season testing, I think he possibly had a DNF from memory. So it wasn't a great start, although it was a bit overcast conditions over when we did the pre-season race, the social race in Germany. So yeah, it's going to be a tough season for him only this season. And you're probably wondering why you probably counted there's only 19 full-time drivers. Unfortunately, we need to have like 3 people, 2 commentators and 1 streamer to fit into the lobby. Hence why we only have 19 drivers, unfortunately. So, yeah, I think it could, constructors-wise, it'd be battle for the 9th and 10th, I would think, for PresidentCosby in the Sauber. We do have 1 reserve driver for this season of AOR Oceania F1, that being in the form of Dominator. Now, obviously, Dom will be filling in for anybody who's unavailable for any of the races. So, give you a quick snapshot for Dom. Finished 12th in Season 1. Only did a few races, 2 top 10s and 1 pole position. Season 2 as a reserve driver, he had 1 win at, I think it was USA, 1 top 10 and 1 DNF. So, yeah, Dom will just be the fill-in for anybody who is unavailable for any of the races. So there you have it, guys. That is the full grid for AOR Oceania F1 League for Season 3. If you did enjoy it, be sure to smash the like button. You can leave your comments down below. Let me know down in the comments who you think will win the Drivers' Championship, who will win the Constructors' Championship. I'd love to know your thoughts. And subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. All my social media links will be down in the description. Of course, I'll put a link down there for the Apex Online Racing, the website, the YouTube channel. Of course, our live stream is going to be commentated by Matt212 and Fitcho. And of course, Jess95 will be doing the stream. I hope I've got that correct. If not, please correct me. But I will be producing the F2 driver introduction, so be sure to stick around for that one. But until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.